Welcome, Missy and Janice. They are both patient specialists with StrivePD and have these beautiful matching blue and green backgrounds. So, yes, welcome, Missy and Janice. I'll turn the floor over to you.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Missy, and I'm one of three patient specialists for Strive PD at Room Labs. Working here has been both rewarding and humbling because I get to support people living with Parkinson's in meaningful ways. Before joining Room Labs, I worked as a lab service manager at One Medical, which is now called Amazon One Medical, where I provided lab services directly to patients and their families. I also taught medical assisting and medical billing and coding, which gave me a deep appreciation for how important accurate health data is in supporting both patients and care team. So that's just a little bit about me, and I'm going to pass it over to you, Janice.
Thanks, Missy. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. So my name is Janice. I have been part of Rune Labs for about 3.5 years now. Prior to that, I've had the pleasure of working at Kaiser Permanente for 14 years as a surgery scheduler for the Department of Urology. And throughout that time, I found real fulfillment in helping others. Since joining the labs, I've especially enjoyed working with people in the Parkinson's community, which has been both meaningful and inspiring to support this community and be a part of everyone's each individual journey. So today we're going to talk about Strive PD. We do have a presentation that we'll go ahead and share. And then as Andrea had mentioned earlier, we will have some time at the end for any questions that people may have. So I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. Okay, just want to make sure everyone can see that okay. And okay, so I'm not sure, it's probably not on full screen, sorry. How does it look on your end? Let me just, sorry, check the settings real quick.
It worked great in the test run. Isn't that always
Okay,
how things work?
yes, of course. Sorry, everyone, just a moment.
I think all of us are used to technology going sideways just when you need it.
Okay, we'll try that one more time. Okay, how is that looking?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, so first and foremost, Strive PD is an application available on the iPhone and is completely free to download directly from the Apple App Store. You can download and start using it now, so there's no need for a referral or prescription needed from your doctor. It is HIPAA compliant as well because we do understand the importance of patient privacy since we do consider it a healthcare related app. So Strive PD is basically like a care management tool to help you track symptoms, track medications, just overall how you're feeling each day. And then you can also share this information with your movement disorder specialist or neurologist. So they can also get some insight in what your day-to-day Parkinson's experience is like. Okay, so this is Aura Oslapas. She is the creator of Strive PD. So she had designed the app based on her own experience with Parkinson's when she was actually taking care of her father who had PD. Then turns out later she was diagnosed with Parkinson's as well and took what she experienced to help create Strive PD as a way to help manage her care. So Aura is still very much a part of the company and in just day-to-day operations. She sits in our patient advisory board as well. So we still do get a lot of interaction and feedback from her on lots of the improvements that we make to the StrivePD app. So what sets StrivePD apart from other similar apps for Parkinson's is actually the use of the Apple Watch. However, even if you don't have a watch, you can still definitely use StrivePD and take advantage of all the other great benefits to help track your symptoms and medications and other great features. So back in June of 2022, Strive PD received FDA 510(k) clearance for passively tracking tremor and dyskinesia in those with PD, which is actually data that you'll be able to see directly in the Strive PD app. So really just by wearing the watch, it will just kind of work in the background and automatically track tremor and dyskinesia data and let you know how much of those symptoms you're experiencing every day. And so with the data that's being recorded from the watch, you can start to identify certain triggers and patterns related to your symptoms. For example, if you do rock steady boxing or physical therapy one day, maybe you might see that your symptoms are better. Or maybe the next day, if you have a high protein meal, you may notice your symptoms are worse. Maybe because the medication didn't absorb well. So these are the types of correlations that you can see directly in the Strive PD app to just sort of confirm and correlate, what is making your symptoms better or worse each day. So Strive PD has also become extremely valuable for clinicians. Current Strive PD users, struggled because prior to using Strive PD, you basically go in each visit over several months' time and sort of just have to recall, what has happened since the last time you saw your doctor. But now you actually have objective data that you can visualize and see how much better or worse symptoms are getting, see exactly when symptoms are happening throughout the day, and then also help make adjustments to your medication schedule or other adjustments to minimize symptoms. So StrivePD has helped a lot of users as well as clinicians in this way. And then lastly, by joining the StrivePD community, you have access to a wide variety of clinical trials. So we can be a great resource if you'd like to participate in a trial, which Missy will touch on a little bit more in detail in just a bit. So as mentioned earlier, StrivePD is only available on the iPhone or Apple devices. Optimal use of StrivePD is best on the iPhone 10R or 10S models and newer. And then also Apple Watch Series 5 or newer. So these devices support Apple iOS 17, which is the minimum requirement to be compatible with StrivePD. So Apple iOS 17 or newer devices would be compatible. So again, you don't necessarily have to have an Apple Watch to use StrivePD. So there's so many other benefits that you can take advantage of, as I mentioned, tracking your medications every day, manually tracking your symptoms, including tremor and dyskinesia, as well as your daily activities and exercises that you do. And then this can all be shared in a nice comprehensive report, which you can either print out and bring with you to your doctor's appointments or share and email it directly to your doctor, whichever you prefer. So again, please don't feel like you can't use StrivePD if you don't have a watch. What makes Apple devices exclusive to StrivePD is really because of the movement disorder kit that is built into the Apple Watch. And this is something that is exclusive only to the Apple Watch, as there is no other wearable device that has this technology at the moment. So there's always concern about personal data, where it's going, who is it being shared with, how is it being used. So we did want to make sure we touch on that a little bit for you. So there are going to be 3 pieces of data that we get and put into the StrivePD app. The first is the Apple Health Kit data. So if you have an iPhone, The Health app is one of the pre-installed applications that come with the phone. So there is an integration with StrivePD so that it can automatically collect data such as mobility metrics, which we tie into gait parameters. So it can give you information about, how fast you're walking, your step length, and then also how steady you are when you're walking. And then if you have a watch, it can also collect sleep data and then monitor your heart rate and your breathing while you sleep. So as I mentioned, what really sets us apart is the Apple Movement Disorder Kit in the Apple Watch. So this is what Apple created specifically for the Parkinson's population to help track tremors and dyskinesia with the Apple Watch. So again, no other wearable device has this technology at the moment, but also, as we mentioned, we're very proud to say that this has FDA clearance as well. Hopefully, if it does expand to other devices like Android in the future, perhaps we can certainly take a look and see if there could be a way to implement that in the StrivePD environment as well. So lastly, we also take anything that you report yourself into the app, things that such as logging your medications, manually logging symptoms, exercises. So again, we do prepare all of that great data and put into a comprehensive report that you get each month, which you can again share with your doctor or even with friends and family as well. And so here are just a few screenshots of what the StrivePD app looks like, both on the phone and the watch. So something we really try to emphasize is a low burden experience for our users. So we do try to keep the app as simple as possible. So, not everyone is tech savvy. So we do also have a great support team and a comprehensive help center which can help guide you on getting started and just getting to know all the features. So this is a little bit about our activity feature. So we know how important it is for our users to stay active and exercise on a regular basis. So we've really made lots of great improvements to our activity and exercise feature in the app. So with this activity section, it will keep track of all your activities and exercise throughout the week. It will also keep track of a streak on how many days you are being active in a row to also help encourage you along the way. The second screenshot on the right shows you a little bit more about how you can view your data in the app, so the data that's being collected from the watch. So we have the blue and green bar graphs, which represent tremor and dyskinesia activity throughout the day. And then when you log your medications, you can also see the times that you take your medications and correlate that to the symptoms and activity that's being gathered from the watch. So you'll be able to see, how do my symptoms look like before and after I take my medications? Or, what do my symptoms look like before or after I exercise? So this can just kind of show you day to day how, doing certain things can impact your symptoms. Okay. So again, we know how important exercise is. So physical activity is the only known disease modifying intervention that also has the ability to slow the progression of Parkinson's disease. Lots of improvements have been made to our activity feature, just making it overall easier for you to log your activities and keep track of your exercise. There is also a built-in integration with the workout app, which is one of the apps that come pre-installed on the Apple Watch. So by using the workout app on your watch to track your exercise, it will actually automatically sync with StrivePD and put it directly into the app for you. So you don't have to go in and separately log it in another time. Of course, if you don't have an Apple Watch, you do have the option to log it in directly within the app. which again, we just kind of make it very simple. You just choose the activity that you did and then enter details as far as when you did it and how long you did it for. So this has really helped a lot of our users stay on top of their activities. As you can see here, we do set a goal of 150 minutes per week as recommended by the Parkinson's Foundation in collaboration with the American College of Sports Medicine. In addition to that, it is also recommended to have at least 90 minutes of vigorous activity per week. So another update to the activity feature is including heart rate zones. So regular mid to high intensity exercise can also help slow down the progression of disease. Research has shown that exercising 90 minutes per week in this range can also increase brain health. So by adding this feature to Strive PD activity module, we hope it will allow us to provide more PD oriented and personalized material and recommendations to our users in the future. We also have some great videos built into the app that you can access directly within Strive PD that talks more about the importance of these zone 3 plus exercises for people with Parkinson's. So zone 3 plus is pretty much any heart rate greater than 70% of your max heart rate. And then now I'll pass it on to Missy to go over the rest of the great features of Strive PD.
Thanks, Janice. Yeah, so hello again, everyone. I'm Missy. So just continuing where Janice left off, another feature we've recently revamped are the Strive PD Insight Reports. So the Strive PD Insight Reports are is a comprehensive summary of your data, and it's captured by the Strive PD app. All users will receive an email with a PDF attachment each month so you can print it out and bring it with you to your appointment. The PDF will have all your information for the current 4 week period and it will compare it with the previous 4 week period. Our reports use LLM models, which means large language model. It's technology that we use to bridge the gap between patients and their data. LLMs translate complex data into easy to understand insights, and it's available to users every month. Uh, you can download these reports, you can print them out and share them with your clinicians. This essentially puts the power in your hand to know, hey, this is what's going on, and I'd like to show you when you go to your doctor. Okay. All right. So if you have a watch, it will compare your tremor and dyskinesia data so you can see changes between the two periods. It will compare any symptom you manually input into the app so you can see how you did last month versus this month. It will also let you know about your activity status and compare the two periods. We set a goal, like Janice mentioned, of 150 minutes per week, since that's what the Parkinson's Foundation recommends. So you'll be able to see if you hit that goal each week and compare it to the previous month. This helps make you more aware of how active you are being. You can also see a breakdown of the different activities you did and for how long. You can also, it's also going to show you a side-by-side comparison for the previous month. The report will also show mobility metrics, which includes walking speed, your step length, and double support percentage time, which is an indicator of how balanced you are when you're walking. Those three metrics come from the iPhone and the health app on the Apple device. So these are tracked when you carry the iPhone with you in your hip pocket, so closest to your waist. Okay. Great. So by joining the Strive PD community, you gain access to clinical trials that are tailored to your lifestyle and preferences. We help determine your potential eligibility ahead of time, which reduces the work of sorting through complex inclusion and exclusion criteria on your own. So when you sign up for a Strive PD account, you'll answer a short series of questions that helps us identify clinical trials that you may qualify for. If you're a good match, you might receive an in-app message asking if you're interested in learning more. These messages only appear a few times a year. So if you'd like additional information about the clinical trials, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. I know Carrie will also be sending over a link so that you all can use if you're interested in registering for the clinical trials within the Strive PD community. Okay. So our user base has come a long way from just a dozen users in 2022 to over 13,000 users today. Janice, that's more than the 20 we started with a few years ago. Wow. So we have close to 300 clinicians, movement disorder specialists, and neurologists throughout the United States that are part of our Strive PD network. And it's more like closer to 200 major medical centers throughout the country. Mhm. So one of our main goals here with the Strive PD with the Strive PD app is to improve your Parkinson's journey and help to decrease or prevent adverse events from your PD, such as falls, hospitalizations, and things like that. So some ways Strive PD can help achieve this is by making you aware of patterns or correlations of your symptoms that you can bring up to your physician to optimize your care. This can help you stay compliant with your medication schedule, bring you insights into your mobility metrics with our Strive PD reports, so that you know if you're at risk for falling or if you need intervention. Hospitalizations can be costly, way beyond just financial costs. So using Strive PD as a care companion tool can help prevent hospitalizations. In fact, we are engaging in a pilot right now with Kaiser, showcasing this. More than a year ago, Rune Labs partnered with Kaiser Permanente, which is one of the biggest healthcare systems in the United States. During this pilot, we're happy to share our results showing novel use of technology to improve access and keep patients away from the worst outcomes. So, through this partnership, a diverse cohort of 138 Kaiser Permanente Parkinson's patients across California used an Apple Watch and Rune Labs Drive PD app to record their behavior for at least 6 hours a day. And we got 6 hours of data per day for 7 days per week from these participants. The data collected exercise, activity, sleep, falls, mobility, hospitalizations, and medication compliance. So, um, let's see here. I'm going to read these goals off the slide so we can just kind of elaborate a bit more. With our pilot with Kaiser, 75% of the patients from that study reported Strive PD helped in medication adherence, 75%. 74% of those participants reported increased activity after onboarding to Strive PD. 52% of our participants increased their exercise time to more than 150 minutes per week. 67% of those participants reported events which may have required attention. And our AI algorithm, which is embedded into the app, was able to help identify 62,000 red flag symptoms that were logged from the patients using free text notes. The AI algorithm summarized and customized those notes into written language to help our users guide their discussions with their movement disorder specialists. So we're proud of those numbers. Next slide. Okay. Um, so by using Strive PD to help in your care, patients have also decreased ER visits by nearly half. Through engagement with Strive PD and educational interventions, it has just led to a decrease in movement disorder visits as well. The KP findings were so successful, we wanted to make a version of this program available to everyone. So this is how a StrivePD Guardian came about. Guardian is a paid service that leverages the StrivePD app but gives you the experience of someone participating in the Kaiser Permanente program. We are happy to announce that Guardian is also FSA HSA eligible. Okay. So once again, StrivePD is available for anyone to download for free from the Apple App Store to use independently as your care companion tool and still have access to all the features, including the comprehensive insight reports. And of course, you don't necessarily have to have an Apple Watch to take advantage of all the great features that StrivePD has to offer. Having just the iPhone is good enough. Okay. So if you are interested in downloading the app, you can scan this code with your phone, or you can go into the App Store, look for Strive PD, give us a download, and give us a try.
And then also right now, we wanted to just highlight that if you were interested in the Guardian service, we are offering 25% off the subscription price, specifically for our great PMD Alliance partners. So please feel free to take advantage or let us know if you have any questions about the service and how it has helped, a lot of people manage their care and really take control in their care and as well as the visits with their doctors.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so we've come to the end of our presentation and would like to open the floor up to any questions anyone may have.
Yes, and we do have some good questions. Okay, so let's see. I'll start with someone said their Parkinson's is worse on the right side, but like most of us have the watch on the left side. Do they need to switch or how does that work?
Do you want to take this one, Janice, or you want me to take it?
Go ahead, Missy. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we recommend that you wear the watch on the most symptomatic side so we can get a more accurate reporting or recording of those symptoms when they arise.
Okay.
Might be an adjustment curve wearing the watch on a different side, but it's worth
Probably
it.
good for brain plasticity to switch it up anyway.
Yeah.
And can you talk about how it gathers data on tremor versus dyskinesia? And then also, will it pick up? So you said wear it on the more symptomatic side, but can it still pick something up from the the side that it's not even on?
So no, it won't pick up any info like any symptoms from another side. So this is why we ask you to wear the watch on the most symptomatic side so it can gather the data from there. So also how it works. So how is it measuring? Was that the question, Andrea?
How does it measure tremor versus dyskinesia?
Yeah, this is the fun stuff. So, Strive PD's partnered with Apple, and Apple actually did a data validation study regarding Parkinson's symptoms specifically. And so I don't have the formula off my head. However, it just uses a certain formula, like numerical, like 2.38 of a second, and it measures the movement within that time frame in order to be able to tell if it's tremor, if it's dyskinesia, or if it's just normal movement. So when you put on the watch, it learns your normal patterns and is able to differentiate between tremor and dyskinesia. This is also a good point or kind of area to kind of add in. Sometimes some of our activities mimic dyskinetic like movements, like boxing or brushing your teeth. So we recommend that when you're boxing, well, when you're boxing, you can wear the watch. But if you're brushing your teeth or if you're mowing the lawn or if you're partaking in any type of activity that may mimic a tremor, we ask that you make a note in the app so that we can offset the data.
Okay. And eventually the app kind of learns you, the longer you wear it.
So the watch will learn you as you wear it, and then Strive PD is allowed to receive that data from the health kit of the Apple Health app.
Follow-up question. So if your tremor is actually in your leg, it is it recorded in Strive PD?
Not automatically, not
Mm.
automatically. So the watch is going to automatically record any tremor and dyskinesia that it picks up. It's designed for that. The iPhone app, is where you want to use it kind of like a diary. So you want to log manually that you had dyskinesia. There's ways to log different symptoms within the app. So if you have a symptom outside of the region or the area of the watch, we ask that you log it manually.
In one of your slides, was there a screenshot example of that? I think I remember seeing that you could scroll back to. If while you look,
Um,
we look at another
mhm,
some
mhm.
more questions. Okay. So does the data collected provide suggestions for symptom improvement to the user?
To a certain degree, we're not clinicians, so we have to be very careful not to give clinical advice. But the app will using AI, it will give a summary, kind of some coaching as to what the watch has collected, and then give you suggestions as to what to discuss with your clinician.
Okay, makes sense. We do not want to replace doctors with watches. Uh, and thanks. Yeah, Janice, this is so that one on the far left, what do you want to log? That's where you're talking about you would.
Right. So going off this screen, the fourth picture of the phone, right? It says, "Hello, Jane." At the bottom, you see, oh, actually, that's not it. Do you have the login item one?
I was trying to look for that, but I didn't. So, yes, on the main screen, there is a button that's just sort of permanently there. It says login item, which will bring you to the very first screen on the far left, which is a menu of all the various things that you can log into the app. So this is where you can go ahead and manually log any symptoms that you're experiencing. Um, there is a wide, very long list of different symptoms to choose from. But of course, if the symptom you're looking for is not there, you can certainly add any custom one that you'd like and then start tracking it from there. So this is helpful to see if in case there is a particular symptom you want to keep track of. And then by the time you get your reports, it will actually show, how many times you've logged this particular symptom in this current period, and maybe, might be something that you might want to discuss with the doctor if it was frequent enough to, to drive a conversation around
Okay. And Jim had a question about reducing or marking false data. So you said you could do that as well. Like, actually, I just mowed the lawn for an hour. That was not a dyskinetic event.
Yeah. So the app features a number of different items that you can log. So on this first picture here with the first iPhone, you can see the different settings. You have symptoms or side effects that you can log, medications or supplements, influence, which is like food, stress, travel, water intake. You can also customize these lists and add everything that you do, so you can make it more customized. DBS reporting, I saw a question about that. So if you have a DBS device implant, you can report what your setting is. And that's all this app will do, is just kind of hold as a reporting tool. You won't be able to kind of like reduce or change any settings. And this can kind of help track your symptoms based on the settings that you're on. And then the notes section here. That notes section is powerful because often things happen. Today that you might not remember in 6 months. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone what's going to happen, in 6 months. So when you make a note, you can say here, um, I was mowing the lawn or I was brushing my teeth at this time. And then the algorithm and the way that the reports are curated, we can actually help use those notes to note that this is not dyskinesia, this was dyskinetic-like, and help reduce those false data reports.
Mm.
And then that's also why we also encourage logging activity and exercise as well. So by doing that, we can also be sure to negate any dyskinesia activity during the time that you are exercising.
Okay. And I see the in the watch screenshot a log by voice. So I think if you are having bad off time and you are dyskinetic, that's like not a good time to have to fiddle with fine motor skills. So is that for the app and for the watch, you could use voice.
Yeah, yep. So StrivePD does use Siri, so you can always say something like, "Hey Siri, log my medication," or log a symptom, and Siri will pick up and log those symptoms for you as well. You can also, in a lot of the free boxes for you to text into, there's a little microphone. When you tap the microphone, it allows you to use text to speech. So as you speak into the phone, it'll write out what you're saying for those days when you don't want to tap for text.
And another question about DBS. Um, so Jim said he's getting DBS, and I would want to know this too, like a long period look back. So to compare, how were my symptoms the 6 months prior to DBS and how were my symptoms 6 months after? Can it create those kinds of reports or analyses?
So we don't have that readily available in the app, but certainly if you reach out to us, that's something we can look into for you. But this has really helped a lot of users pre and post DBS. So, we do have people that have used Strive PD during that time frame, and we've been able to supply information to them as far as what their symptoms look like before and after. What's great about the DBS reporting feature here in the What Do You Want to Log menu is it has really helped a lot of people who just got DBS and are still trying to figure out those optimal settings. So this feature is really just for record keeping. So what it can do is keep track of the different symptom or the different settings that you're making to the DBS. And you can make notes about, okay, well, this symptom is making me feel this way. And then I'm sorry, this setting is making me feel this way. And then when I change it to this setting, these symptoms go away, but then these symptoms come up. And so you can have sort of like a nice way to keep track of all those settings, how it made you feel, and bring those back to your doctor each time so you can both get to that optimal place that you want to be. So this has been very helpful for a lot of people transitioning into DBS.
Great. Okay. So I have a question. Seems ideally that the Apple Watch would be required for the best results. Um, so I see nods to that. Um, are there, so if you don't have an Apple Watch, you can use just the iPhone. And you mentioned maybe one day Android, but not at this time. What about other wearables like the Aura Ring?
What,
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Missy. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah, so again, unfortunately, there is no other integration with any other wearables. It really is exclusive to the Apple Watch because of that movement and disorder kit that has the ability to track tremor and dyskinesia activities. So Aura rings, Garmin's, Fitbit, any of those do not have the capability at this time. So there is no integration with Strive PD.
And if you're just using the iPhone app, does it have to be an iPhone or can it be any phone?
It is exclusive to iPhones, yeah.
If you're just using the iPhone app, then it's not sensing, it's not on you don't have the watch on your wrist sensing anything, but all of the logging features and the prompts to exercise are there.
Yes, definitely. You still have access to log all of those directly within the app.
And to get us straight on the different levels and the different costs, so the iPhone app is free, the Apple Watch app is free. You do have to already, you have to buy your own iPhone and your own Apple Watch. Now, talk to us about Guardian, because that is the one that costs money, right?
Yeah, so let me actually go back to that slide to touch a little bit more about Guardian. Do you want to go ahead and go through this, Missy, or do you want me to take it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do it. So yeah, Guardian, are we talking about pricing? Is that the question? I want to make sure I
Yeah.
answer the
Yeah,
question.
what does Guardian provide and how much is the cost?
Yeah, yeah. So what Guardian will do is it's going to pair you with a dedicated coach. And so what will happen is you get to have two coaching sessions free for the year. So we usually pair that with your upcoming appointment, right? So you have your upcoming appointment with your neurologist or your movement disorder specialist. You want to make sure you understand your data. You want to make sure that you actually have things to discuss when you go into your visit. So you can schedule a coaching session ahead of your appointment. You get two of those a year. So that's one thing. You get these clinical visit prep reports. So the prep reports are really cool because they're customized. So what happens is you get this report ahead of your appointment. In our app, we have a section where you can put your next clinical visit date. So if you decide you want to join StrivePD Guardian, you get an onboarding session with myself or Janice. We walk you through the process of downloading the app, setting it up for optimal use, touring you through the app, showing you where this lives to help you get the most out of the app. And then we will show you where you would go to put who your doctor is and when your next appointment date is. Once we have your next appointment date into the app, what happens is our clinicians team will go in on the like a week before. I think it's a week or is it 3 days, Janet?
Mhm.
It's a week.
It's
A
like
week.
a week, the week prior. Yeah.
Yep, a week before your appointment, and then curate a special report that summarizes key health insights and quick consultations to help you make the most of your visits. There's also a monitoring or risk monitoring for sudden changes that is included in the Guardian. What this does is it identifies and tracks significant symptom fluctuations with red flag alerts, including pre-visit reports. Red flag alerts are things like dizziness, high blood pressure. Did you fall? What else? What else am I missing here?
On and off periods,
On and
and then yeah, I think you said hallucination. Yeah.
Nations. Yep.
Mhm.
So these are red flag alerts. When we see that, or when the app realizes that you've been logging red flag symptoms like the on-off period, hallucinations, lightheadedness, dizziness, falls, what happens is now you'll have someone reach out to you proactively or send you a report to let you know, hey, we've noticed this is what's going on, and this is where we try to offer early intervention to make sure that the doctor knows what's going on and you can kind of be seen before your next appointment.
Okay, great. That was one of my questions too. Is it just a fall, but sounds like a lot of red flag events?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last category of questions has to do with the data collected. So how much is available to the user versus their physician? Do you need your doctor to be part of the program? And what is done with the data collected? So I made a bunch of hard questions altogether.
You want to take this one, Janice? Let me
It's
take.
up to you. Yeah, I can. Yeah. So yeah, so great question. So when you sign up for Strive PD, there is disclosure about the data and how it's used. And basically, you have access to your data. You're welcome to share as much as you want with your doctor. So you have access on how much of that data you want to share with your doctor as well. As far as Strive PD goes, in the disclosures, there is some verbiage around using some of the data which is kept de-identified. So it is not tied personally to you. It's just the raw data itself, which can be used for possibly further enhancements to Parkinson's treatments in the future. So again, I do want to emphasize that it is kept de-identified, so nothing is tied to any of your personal information, just the raw data.
Okay. And I think we covered, let me just scroll through. Oh, I don't know how you would. mm, So this is a good question. I'll see if you can take a stab. What's the degree of accuracy for tremor measurement and dyskinesia measurement?
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, so we do have the validation study. If anyone's interested, you can email us at support.group at at IO, I think it is. Like we have, I don't know which one it is. Support.group.io, right? Okay, that's our email. So if you send an email to support.group.io, the Lord have mercy. Can you put it in the chat for me, please? Support.group.
Let me see. I
Yeah.
think support at Strive.
Is-
Yeah, support at strive.io.
Yeah. I almost just gave my work email. So like, which one is it? But yeah, if you want to know more, you can always just kind of send us an email. But we have a validation study from Apple, and I believe per the validation study, it was about a 93 to 95% accuracy with detecting tremor and dyskinesia with the watch.
Okay. And so that was one way to contact with questions. So if you are interested in that validation study, Robin asked who do we contact with questions. So um, if you are interested in downloading the app, we can put that link to the App Store back. And then thank you. And then Carrie also put the link to sign up for the clinical trials. And I know from folks that use the app that you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you're always seeking user feedback and then using it to get better. So is that once you are an active user, there's ways to submit your feedback and things like that. Okay, as well as if you do Guardian, you are paired with a patient specialist like the two of you, and it's a real two-way conversation.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mhm.
So there's a few ways to reach out to us. So I just put the email in the chat, but Janice, thank you kindly for putting the slide back up. Support@runelabs.io is the support email. Once you download the app, even in the app, you can reach out to us. There's a question mark at the top banner. I don't know if it's in one of those pages, but if you hit the question mark and in-app support, you can directly through the app send us a message and we're able to offer any support that you need directly. We usually have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround time for a response from the support queue, but we'll definitely get to you if you send us an email.
Okay. Oh, I noticed one question I missed. About does insurance cover it? So again, the iPhone app and the Watch app are free, and Guardian, if you have, you can use FSA or HSA funds, but it is not covered by Medicare or insurance. Do I have that right?
Yep, you have that right.
That's correct. Mhm.
And let's see. Okay, I think we grilled you thoroughly and asked lots of questions. Um, and I know there's, we did this presentation to our PMD Alliance ambassadors, and a handful of them were like, "Hey, it's free. Let me just give it a try." And definitely for those, the iPhone app and the watch. Yeah, right. Do you think that's a good try it out, explore it? It's great to see slides in a PowerPoint, but sometimes, we just have to touch it and feel it and play with it in our lives.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Give it a shot. Learn the system. And like you mentioned, Andrea, we do love feedback. A lot of changes that we see now from when it was first developed is because of feedback from users. We take that very seriously. So yeah, I think just give us a shot. It's free, won't hurt, and then let us know how it's working for you.
Yeah. And then one thing I wanted to also add was that, you can really tailor Strive PD to fit your needs. There is absolutely no wrong or right way to use this. And you can really use it at your own pace, but definitely as you do, interact with it each day, you do get used to the features and just become second nature eventually. So
Piggyback
we
off
do.
of, yeah, sorry, I'm not, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, to piggyback with what Janice is saying, or off of what Janice is saying, the app also gives you the capability to automate some of those features. So we do have like a medication schedule that reminds you, hey, your medication is due. If you want to set goals, you want to drink more water, or drink more water with your medication so that it can fully absorb into your system. You can set up goals for that, set up goals for activities. You can do all of these things and then automate the logging so that you don't have to constantly get notifications if you have notification fatigue. A lot of our users who are not really comfortable wearing like devices, they just wear they wear the phone in their pocket, their watch on their wrist, and they go. And really just doing that can really serve to gather a lot of data to kind of help you with your next appointment with your clinician. So there's really no wrong way to use the app.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for teaching us about this and offering further support if we give it a try. And thanks to everyone who joined for your great questions and your attention. So we will have this recording up in a couple days on our website and our YouTube. And as always, we're here to connect the dots if you have questions and want us to help you get in touch with Strive PD. You can do that on our 800 number or our email. So thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day and really appreciate you, Missy and Janice. Thanks.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone, thanks for having us. Bye.